I realized this during the editing process. You'll like whisper a joke into the microphone, which only Tom can hear, I guess.
Yeah.
At the time.
Oh, it's good though.
Can you not hear that when I do a little?
Just like, yeah, boys, cabin.
The microphone. The microphone could pick it up though, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's bizarre that you know how microphones work, yet refuse to do it consistently.
No, I understand them conceptually.
Yeah, the concept of the the maturity in the cabin, unbelievable. I think we've made it to 14. We've been sitting at 13 before now.
That'd be great. Yeah, from now on, just if you can just start whispering some really offensive stuff about Dan into the microphone, I'll enjoy
say the
it.
N-word every episode. Have you guys not picked that up?
Haven't heard it.
I got to say it slightly louder.
Yeah, you got to go from silent to Michael Richards. Somewhere in there is the dream.
So we're here on a Saturday.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yep.
A weekend cabin.
Weekend cabin.
Does this count as a getaway? Little weekender? You want to go to Barrel?
Do we get time and a half or something?
No, absolutely. Not on Saturday, do you? It's Sunday.
There's a bump for
Saturday.
Saturday pay.
Yeah.
I don't think it's...
I don't believe it. I don't think that's true.
Sunday is like double time and Saturday is like 1.5 or something like that.
It might not be penalty rates,
to-
but I think a lot of pubs do it anyway.
Yeah, I definitely know it cost me more. It cost me a pretty penny to have staff on a weekend. I used to own a hospitality venue.
Well, maybe.
I would be closing this Monday. I wouldn't really be paying anyone public holidays fees. Public holiday rates.
Hospitality
It's
venue.
Too much.
Brooklyn Crispy. Yeah. What is it? Double time and a half on a public holiday?
I don't know what it is
pub
these
hole?
days. I don't know. I just saw the bill at the end and I was like, we're paying these bloody Nepalese people too much.
Your most ardent supporters, the Nepalese. How does Andrew Hamilton feel about the Nepalese? I don't know, honestly, at this point.
We can't have them working public holidays. They should be home watching Instagram reels
Of me.
of me.
I'm of course joking. They didn't get paid penalty rates. They were paid cash in hand under the table.
I love that I'm just like, that's 100% true. That is not a joke even slightly. You know, and sometimes like, is he just being funny? No.
You know what the biggest penalty is? A flight back to Nepal.
And let me tell you, I'm not paying for that. Dude. I don't think Saturday is, because I thought Sunday is. That's why every cafe and restaurant now is like 10% surcharge on Sunday. 10% Sunday surcharge.
It's maybe not. Maybe not double time, but it's definitely something. It's more than a weekday.
I definitely used to get paid more on a Saturday at a pub, but I don't know if it's enforced the way that a Sunday is.
I thought it was like loading or something.
Oh.
You get that.
What does that mean?
I don't know. When you pass midnight or something, there's like loading.
Okay, I never had that.
Because you were, what were you? You were Chatswood.
Chatswood and
We used to do trivia.
Waitara. Yeah.
What was the Chatswood one?
The Chelsea Hotel.
Chelsea Hotel. Yeah. Because I was Zanzibar, now Webster's, which used to be open until
Casuals
5.
get time and a half on a Saturday.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
150% of their minimum hourly rate.
There we go.
150%. Oh, that makes sense. Sorry, I thought the math on that was.
And then
No,
Sunday,
I just thought it was like they get an 100% increase. And I'm like, that's way too much.
Saturday time and a half.
Mm.
Sunday double.
Sunday
time.
double.
Mm.
Double time on a
Double
Sunday.
time. And then public holiday double time.
Okay. Well, how do you feel about the 10% surcharge? How do you think about like it's the weekend? We're passing the fact that we pay them more on to you.
I'm relatively okay with that.
No? Doesn't get your blood boiling?
Well, I know how hard it can be to run a hospitality business, right? I know it's lean. The margin's thin. You got to fund it by having some kind of illegal operation behind it, keep it afloat for years. So yeah, I certainly sympathise, particularly in this current economy, cost of living, right?
As he lives.
I think as long as you're transparent about that stuff, I think it's fine.
I hate service surcharge, where they just presume that we're going to give our staff 10%, as in like...
Oh, like a tip.
Well, yeah,
like gratuity.
Presume, yeah, gratuity, exactly. Presume a tip.
I mean, I assume you wouldn't like tipping.
I tip.
Whoa.
I do. I tip at restaurants.
Well, let's dial that back a little bit. Have you ever tipped an Uber or Uber Eats driver?
Absolutely not. No.
Yeah, I don't know about tipping those guys, but good service at a restaurant, I definitely always would tip.
What's good service? What do they need to do? Are they having good banter? Are they recommending a thing? Is it efficient? What are we tipping for?
All that stuff. Yeah, just something where I go, oh, it's pretty good.
Proactive. Can I get you more of this? Would you like more of that? I like to have a cold alcoholic beverage within about 3 minutes of me sitting down. Yep.
And so
Just they have to presume.
no, I want
This is the big fella seems thirsty.
I want drink menus, and then I want to be able to order my drink and then have it come back within the first. If it's not there within the first 10 minutes, you've already lost me.
Yeah.
10 minutes to get a drink.
Sometimes you're looking around and you're like, if you put the clock on from the moment you sit down to the moment your first beverage.
I don't
comes
think
to the
I'm
table.
comfortable timing wait stuff. Mate, I saw that the first lap here you'll see was actually 9 minutes. Your second lap's blown out to 11. What's happened?
Hammer shows up to a
then
restaurant
don't
with
come here and sit and be shocked when I say 10 minutes. That would be common.
Hammer shows up to a restaurant with an egg timer. I'll have a Nutella and go.
I went like an hourglass, like the sand tipping through.
Yeah.
Sometimes you sit down and then it'll take them like 10 minutes to fucking bring over the menus. And you're just like, what am I doing here? Is this just a rest?
I think you're supposed to talk to the person you're having dinner with.
I already know. I'm not there for that.
We're here to eat.
I'm there to, eat or get drunk.
I don't go out for dinner with people to talk to them. I go out to eat or get drunk and not be alone simultaneously.
Yeah.
Your living situation is making more and more sense. I need a housemate and I do not want to know him.
I don't think that's too much to ask.
Look, I don't think it's too much to ask, but I do think timing wait staff at a restaurant would arouse some suspicion.
What about on Uber Eats? There's a lot of places now that have like the jack up. It's more expensive on Uber Eats than if you order the food at the restaurant.
Oh, you mean like everywhere? Like that's everywhere.
That was supposed to be discouraged back a couple of years ago. Like Uber Eats were like policing that, but now I think they're like, oh fuck it, who cares?
Because they did that, and then there's a service charge on top, and then there's a delivery fee.
That's right.
Yeah,
but because
it's almost like it's a money-making enterprise.
I know. I thought it was just a charitable venture. I thought they were just trying to make my life easier.
They take 30%, the Uber Eats guys, and so that's your profit.
Yeah.
And so people are like, oh, we'll have to jack up the price just to fucking justify doing this at all.
I still like you were talking about Uber policing that, so I'm just thinking Uber Police.
Uber Police?
Uber Police. Look, they've got no accreditation, but they do have a white Camry, and they'll be there quicker and be cheaper than the regular police.
Yeah, that's good. For now. And in 4 or 5 years, they're actually far less competent.
Uber Police XL, real fat cop. A fucking enormous fat pig.
Are they still going around with a big backpack? Are they?
Uber Police Black, not available here yet.
Sorry, I just had a question about Uber Police Black. Is the police officer black or is it because I'm black? Because personally, I'd like to order one for me.
Yeah, Uber Police Black. If it's because you're black, you don't actually have to order them. They rock up anyway.
We're calling this the pig economy.
Pig economy like gig economy?
Yeah,
You did it. Emma's first pun of the pod. Well done, brother. You did it.
Here we go.
I rate it.
Clip it up.
I really like the idea of Uber Police Black. You didn't order them. Oh, we know.
Hammer said clip it up to the camera as if I'm not the one who has to fucking do it.
Hammer has a great misunderstanding about how clips work.
Hey, clip guy.
You got to convince this Sony Handycam. Hey, that was pretty funny, right? Break it up into 45-second increments, would you? And put the tile at the end. Come on, wear a professional outfit. I like the Saturday cabin. It's got a loose weekend feel.
Yeah. Yeah. We started hot. Never happens.
Yeah.
Famously.
I mean, I hate it.
Yeah.
Where are we going to go to now?
Very
Are
uncomfortable.
we just going to come in here every weekend?
No, God no.
All right.
I got stuff to do.
Fair enough.
What was I going to... starting off hot, do you have any people in your life that you know were just peaked in high school people? Because I remember my house captain in high school was like a peak in high school guy. He was like the fastest athlete, like all that kind of stuff until like year 9. And then he just stayed that height forever. And he's just bald by the 10-year reunion.
So wait, you're talking about literal peak as in height.
But like, yeah, I'm thinking physically peaking in high school.
Yeah.
Sorry, not mentally. I assume mentally he might be slightly smarter now, but who knows?
Yeah, you'd hope so. I think, but how else has he peaked? What else? Like, just life is not going great.
Well, just that thing where it's just like you were like the athlete you were like the, like, oh man, yeah, this guy's like real fast.
How's his career going? Is he married, got kids, got a house?
I don't know,
well,
man.
we need this information.
I think I go to the high school reunion to get to know people.
Well,
I go there to drink and eat.
Well, all you've said so far is the guy's balding and but pilot, you can treat that now. So
that's true. He doesn't need to peak in high school anymore. Bryce Whedon. I might censor that.
Bryce Whedon.
There we go. I just needed to say with some gusto. But no, just that thing where it's like that. I think it's athletically. Let's say an athletic peak in high school because you just hit puberty earlier. That was your only superpower.
Right, yeah.
And then everyone else kind of catches up and it's just like, oh, remember that guy?
Well, I had to think because I was underage for my year. And so in year 6, I'm playing rugby with year 5 and I was quite good. I was in the A's. And then the next year, because we went up to high school, I couldn't play with the year 6s. So I was in people in my year, but not my age. And I went to the 7Fs and it was brutal. It was
right.
So I think that few months makes such a massive difference when you're in high school compared to later on. You know what I mean?
You were just a little smaller.
Yeah.
Than people, you're a 12-year-old, a sizable 12-year-old.
Sizable 12-year-old.
With some average 13-year-olds. And oh boy, did they destroy you.
Oh yeah.
So you went from thinking you were a gut at rugby, actually no, I was playing against puny kids, but now it just turns out I'm shit.
Yeah.
Now I'm in high school and they're letting Polynesians play too. And oh boy, am I losing that battle every day. And let me tell you something about their age. Who knows?
Yeah. You went to school on a flute scholarship or something.
A flute scholarship. Oh man, yeah, we had them. Your school had it as well, right? It was just
every GPS school. Every GPS school's it was so cooked. These scholarships to these enormous athletes that were just for some other reason other than sport.
Oh, never sport.
No.
Never. I think
it turns out he's good at rugby as well. What are the chances?
This guy's a real polymath and he's no, Polynesian. Yeah, it's a different thing.
The entire orchestra is 250 pounds each.
This is the woodwind, this is the brass, and these are the forwards. Dude, do you think the people who endow the music scholarships no? It's just this old boy, he's 70, he's I don't want to give money to a fucking violinist. It's no, don't worry. The first are going to win this season. And we're not talking about the first orchestra.
He's adding a zero to that check. Yes.
He's a flautist, but he's mostly a fly half.
What saxophone do you play? Inside center. But I don't know if they ever had to just keep up appearances. You know what I mean? Say,
they actually had to learn the flute?
Say perchance you were running a pizza restaurant in order to launder drug money. You'd still kind of turn up.
All right.
You'd still turn up at the pizza restaurant and glad heads of people and sell some pizzas.
Yeah.
But I just don't imagine the Polynesian kid ever just sitting in orchestra and then it's don't worry, your bit will come soon.
Yeah.
On Saturday at about 1 p.m.
No, I think when you're the musical director, it'd be hard to hold them to anything when you're so afraid of your entire woodwind section.
Well, I think you'd be let's start you off on the triangle and we're going to work our way up.
You just come back and he's bent it into a straight line. Holy shit. Do you play rugby perchance? Yeah. I just found it was just so funny. It was just so blatant and everyone was yeah, we all do it.
Yeah. Well, it's the same as NCAA football, right? They all get scholarships and they've got to pass their classes and they come out with a master's in contemporary film studies.
Yeah, the American one though, you have to pass the school thing to play. There's an eligibility requirement in terms of grades.
Yeah.
Which I think is fun.
Oh yeah.
Because it's just, can you imagine? You're the professor who's teaching introduction to gender politics that they signed up to by mistake. And, it's just I'm going to fail him. And the fucking dean just calls up, be no, you fucking won't.
Yeah.
But sir, his essay was 7 words long. It's but he averages 6 yards a carry. Shut the fuck up.
I mean, that's every...
Have you seen his 40 time?
There's so many movies like that as well, even with high school, right? They're they've got the star football players in the high school team and they'll be well, you're not playing because you got a D in English.
Yeah.
And then I'll have to like work hard. But that's just absolutely has never happened in the history of Australian private schools.
No, they'd have to invent like 100 new B stories for Friday Night Lights if they got rid of that rule.
Just heaps of studying. Friday Night Lights is just the library's open late, and they're all in there being like, "Oh man, you know what? Chaucer made some good points." I think Shakespeare was the true coach.
I was trying to make Canterbury Rugby. What about Canterbury Tales?
Hey, all right, hello. That's not bad.
Are you stupid or not? I don't know. I'm never sure.
Yeah, it's like poker. Hammer's always bluffing, but the cards are his intelligence. Who knows what's on him? All I know is he's winning more hands than he's losing. Yeah, that was funny. I was just like, I feel like last week we missed a chance to make you spell obsequious, and I'm like, he would have got it. Just in my head, I was like, you would have got it. Lock it in.
Do you know what obsequious means?
I looked it up.
Yes, I do.
Just quite.
I asked Google.
Just in case Hammer used it in conversation, I can be like, yes, agree.
Hammer, what does it mean?
Obsequious. I thought it meant like unobvious, like not obscure.
That's what I thought as well, but no, it's not.
Obsequious.
It's
not apparent, not immediately apparent.
no, it's like it's obedient, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
obedient.
is it? Okay, then I didn't know.
No.
I obviously didn't read the my email.
Yeah, you weren't obsequious to the game.
Yes. There we go.
Word of the day, not definition of the day. Why would I read any more than that? That's what the subject
Look,
line.
I treat
that is a good word. All right, let's not look up what it means.
I treat words like I treat friends at dinner. I just want them to be there. I don't want to get to know them. Wait, sorry, we're on the restaurant thing, and I've been on Threads.
Oh,
I've been
yeah.
Threading.
I've been threading, which feels like I'm doing fines, but you know,
Yeah.
I'm threading, baby. I'm there. And I put this thing out about restaurants who say their closing time, but their kitchen closes before their closing time, which is one of my great annoyances because I'm trying to get food after a thing. And man, it blew up. Like people were like very angry at me. I assume chefs. Yeah.
Oh.
It was mainly outrage, being like, you're a fucking idiot. Of course the restaurant closes after the kitchen closes. And I'm like, but can't we just implement anything to say, tell me when the kitchen's closing? Like, you know, look at our shows. We have doors, show. The doors open here, the show starts here. Restaurant, kitchen closes here, restaurant closes here.
If I look up the hours and it says it closes at 10, I would assume that I incorrectly that I can go in there before that time and I can get food.
Yeah, you can go in at 9:50 and be like, oh, I want
The
a
other
meal.
one, which really pisses me off, we might have talked about this before, when they say like 5 p.m. till late.
Oh, I hate that.
Oh, late is
Late fucks
an
me
absurdity.
off. Because
That's
then
a
I'll rock
cop-out.
up late and they'll be closed. And they'll be like, well, you fucking lied.
Excuse me, it's late and I'm here.
Sorry, we're closed.
Turn the oven on,
Yeah.
fuckheads. I'm here.
Like, sorry, so you're late. Like, exactly. That's what I was going for.
Yeah.
It's too vague. I should say like late brackets, probably like max 1 a.m.
Late brackets, Christian late. Like eastern suburbs late. Like we're talking like 11:30 because you got to get up and go to the gym. That's not
Specific,
fuck
because
around.
what I've had to do, because when we were in Melbourne, I would do my show and then I would finish the show around 9, and then by the time I'm dicking around and have a beer, and then I'm like walking around 9:30, 10 p.m. looking for a restaurant, there's the options are closed.
Are you suggesting it only takes you half an hour to dick around and have a beer? Andrew Hamilton, I've spent time with you. That's 11:30 p.m.
Sometimes if I know that like my window for getting to a restaurant,
Your feeding window?
my feeding.
I do like to
My
think that at some point in your life you've been fed through a window.
I definitely have. Yeah.
I don't want to rule that out. Just like a dog, your head out.
But I found that I was having to scramble because all these places on a weeknight would close. And so if you look up on the website, so they say till late, and then you got to do the fucking manual ring around. Hello, are you still open? No, we're closing. Like, well, don't say late.
And let me tell you something about the ring around. They hate it. They don't like the ring around.
Well,
no
then-
restaurant is like, oh, sorry. They're like, yeah, we're closed. Bang.
Be
Like,
better
fuck you.
at
End of the night.
communication.
Thank you,
All right.
restaurants.
Yep.
Let's antagonize all chefs. We've gone the Nepalese. Let's expand it. Let's go broad.
All right. Well, they're usually pot smoking agros.
Pot smoking
whoa,
is
whoa,
very
whoa.
favorable, I think, to most chefs.
Yeah, I was going to be like, that is not the understanding I have.
Yeah, well, a lot of them are either coke heads, but that's more fine dining. But then,
Meth is more of a short order.
but then a lot of them have temper issues and smoke a lot of weed.
Smoke a lot of weed.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I thought like more cocaine, like more like keep up, stay up, focus. You know, like the drug of go-getters. Not that pot smoking fucking loser.
Well, I think
shit.
if you're serving degustations, you're doing coke.
I thought you wouldn't if you're doing degustation. I thought
No, if you serve it, if you're
Oh,
the
you're
chef, if you're a chef at a restaurant that's doing like an 8-courser, that's fine dining.
Yeah, but you don't do any lines. You just do 12 bumps.
Very good.
and you let the rest of the kitchen know the origin of the bump.
No, about halfway through, you'll do a bubble ketamine as a palate cleanser.
This is actually yesterday's bump that we've turned into today's line. We don't believe in wasted shit.
It pairs really well with this Monster energy drink.
Yeah, it was funny because like people genuinely got upset. And I'm like, I don't think it's unreasonable to expect the restaurant's closing time to be when their kitchen closes. It's not like get the fuck out time. But at the same time, people are like, what about a barber? Would you go into a barber 5 minutes before they close? And I'm like, probably not.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
And I'm like, damn it. Have I been thwarted?
What about, I mean, small discrepancy, I guess, but last drinks at a bar. If a bar closes at 1, you wouldn't rock up at 10 to get a drink. Or you wouldn't be surprised if sorry, bar's closed.
At 10-2?
Yeah.
Yeah, 10-2, I'd cop. At 15, I'd be like, go on.
Yeah.
I'll finish it in 15 minutes.
I think it
I'm
depends
Andrew
on
Hamilton. I'll finish 2 in 15 minutes.
I think it depends on the kind
You
of
sell it at
food.
the restaurant as well, though.
Yeah, I got some dicking around to do.
It depends on the kind of food. If I'm talking like pizza, kebab, burger, something which can be whipped up in 10 minutes, then in my head, I'm like, you could do this pretty close to.
Sorry, can you imagine walking into a kebab shop like, sorry, brother, the kitchen is closed. Can you imagine? The meat is like fucking rotating in front of you. They're like, brother, sorry, no good, kitchen closed.
No.
We closed, drinks only.
We're closed in 5 minutes.
We got dessert. You want baklava? Garlic chili barbecue baklava. You want it?
Can you explain what you put in the group chat today about the Holy Trinity? Because
Absolutely.
I didn't get it.
Oh,
And Hammer was outraged and I felt left out.
mate. So sorry, just to explain to any white people, including Tom.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So last night I was out with a mate and he was like, I'm getting a kebab. And then he ordered the kebab and they're like, what sauce? And he said, sweet chili barbecue. That was it. That was the end of the sauce order. And he was like, I looked at him disappointed, puzzled, afraid. And he was like, yeah, I got the Trinity. And I'm like think this through. Trinity, 3, you ordered 2 sauces. And he's like, yeah, but it's the Holy Trinity. I'm like, nah.
It's
You-
unholy. What is
You're leaving out Jesus, God, or the Holy Spirit. One of them's out.
But it's also too sweet. What are those combinations? Sweet chili on a kebab as well?
sweet chili
I
and
don't know.
barbecue. That's
I don't-
double sugar.
Yeah.
No spice.
Where's the garlic, brother?
Exactly. Because the Holy Trinity of sauces is garlic, chili, barbecue.
So wait, so chili and sweet chili are different sauces at a kebab
yeah,
place?
hot chili and
chili.
sweet
Hot
chili.
chili, sweet chili. Okay, I'm with you.
Come
Yeah.
on, you should know this.
Yeah.
I
Or
mean,
maybe you
I would
shouldn't.
argue in
Right.
Tom's parents' house there is only sweet chili. Sriracha, I
and
don't know
even,
about
and
this.
even then, it hasn't been opened in years.
Can you handle chili?
Kind of, not
That's a
massively,
no.
but no,
That's a no.
I'm okay. I can do
Yeah.
it.
Like
Yeah.
Tabasco hot?
Yeah, I can do Tabasco.
What are you talking about? He had a colonial upbringing. Surely the nanny introduced him to sriracha at some point while he was breastfeeding. Is it crook to just assume you grew up with a wet nurse? Like, is that?
I mean, there's a lot of crook stuff said about my past on this podcast.
And most of it's accurate. But
When you said in the group chat, like, if I was really funny, I'd put a swastika on Tom for the thumbnail. And I'm like, look, I'm happy to lean into this stuff on the podcast. We cannot have any visual remnants.
No, what you said in the group chat is like, hey, that's where I draw the line. And another line. And then 4 little lines on those lines, which was a very good joke.
Which no one reacted. There was no thumbs
I didn't
up
react. I remembered.
Yeah, I know, it means more.
Yeah, but no, I think that is fair, you know?
Yeah.
We can imply that you're anti-Semitic, but to prove it.
I don't even think you need to imply it. I think everyone's already there.
Yeah. Kebab, yeah. So the Holy Trinity is those three. It was like popularized during the HSP thing.
Because I was going to ask, so was your level of disgust with the choice of sauces or the fact that he thought that was the Holy Trinity? Because I like the idea that he thought sweet was a sauce.
Sweet chili barbecue. Sorry, is my mum making these kebabs? Yeah, no, I was disgusted because of the combo, like just as a flavor combination. And I think honestly, he was just drunk.
Yeah,
and like just wires got crossed somewhere, and that's what happened.
Do you think he meant hot chili?
On a regular day, he would order us the sweet chili, or he wouldn't call it a Trinity when it's obviously two sauces.
I think he wouldn't have ordered the sweet chili, or maybe he would have gone sweet chili garlic barbecue, which is still haram, but it's not as bad.
There's a sweet chili and barbecue. That's the problem. The sweet on sweet.
Sweet on sweet. It's absurd. I mean, I think ordering sweet chili on a kebab in general is crazy.
Yeah,
like sweet chili is for spring rolls, maybe, and that's about it.
Did we talk about? Are we going to get a kebab later this evening?
I think we might go Spanian kebabs.
Spanian kebab,
potentially.
Have you heard about
he might have to go back east. I don't know.
Oh.
I was trying to include,
There's a lot
but
of
it's
talk
like
in Sydney social media about Spanian's kebab.
You were telling me about this thing, were you? Someone was.
It's like a servo kind of parking lot food truck type deal.
Oh yeah.
In Five Dock, part of my homeland, I guess.
But it's served on a thick bread roll.
Oh.
And people are like, it's not a fucking kebab, brother.
Wait, but like a thick bread roll is in like the Berlin one, where it's kind of like the thing sliced in half and it's still kind of triangular, but it's like open.
Yeah.
Is it that?
I don't think it's open, but
it's like rolled. Like what? It's like a sandwich.
It looks like a sandwich. People are calling it. They're like, it's not, everyone's on social media blowing up saying it's not a kebab, it's a sandwich.
Well, these are Spanian fans. So it was like, and would say brah.
There was a very funny cringe video of some young bloke standing there next to the Spanian kebab truck, looking at Spanian and yelling out, "Thanks for improving kebab culture in Australia," or something like
that. Ugh, that sucks.
Kebab culture.
That is kebab culture. Well, I'll tell you what it isn't. It's not sweet chili sauce and barbecue calling it a Trinity. That's
gross. But I mean, there are other haram sauce choices. Some people will get, and I assume, Tom's family, tomato sauce on a kebab, which is wild.
And just that. No
just tomato sauce. It's like, how racist yet hungry are you? That you're like, look, I will eat your disgusting foreign food, but I want it to taste like me.
That'd be the only option for Miles. Yeah, they were starving. They're like, look, we're just going to do it this one time. We won't tell anyone about it.
But you guys are on like the halal snack pack. Obviously, the opposite of halal is haram. So it's like, that's why it's like tomato sauce and sweet chili. Like that's considered haram. And that's the kind of opposite. Because I remember like one of the burger festivals I hosted, fucking clang. Hear what I just dropped there, lads. One day.
You inspire me.
I love it. Like Hamo would host a burger festival to be paid only in burgers.
Yeah.
Like,
and
whereas
beer.
and beer, of course.
Yep.
I think they might be bringing it back. I don't know if that's loose lips, but there might be a burger festival returning to Sydney in 2025.
Oh, well.
Hamo, let's get you in the eating contest.
My arm can be twisted into that quite easily.
Would it require twisting or just a little point?
Light.
Little massage of the forearm. And it's like, oh, you twisted my arm.
All right, I'll do it.
How do you think you'd go in an eating contest?
I don't think I would go fantastically in like a speed eating thing. If it was how much you can eat in 24 hours, I think I'd have a better chance at winning.
What about one of those, like, if you eat the whole thing, it's free? You think you can do that?
No, I don't. I've tried some of them before, and I don't have that kind of stomach
dog
limit.
in you.
Yeah,
don't have the fight, mate.
I just don't.
Bit of a soft cunt, are you?
There's
1.5 steak, too big for little Hamo.
There is that guy, Webby, I think his name is. That's like a champion Australian speed eater that I follow. He's done a lot of international competitions and won. His jaw is just I think he does jaw exercises for this thing. This is half his face. Is he's just
half his face is jaw.
How weird's that? Everyone else's face, not even close.
Like literally the bottom half of this guy's face.
Half his face is a jaw. You're not going to believe this. Some of it's hair. About a third on top. Variable.
Picture, if you will.
He's huge. I mean, half his.
It's like a fucking Picasso, this bloke. Half a face is his jaw.
You should say he's a big bloke. Half his legs are quads.
All right. Anyway, he's got a big jaw and he just absolutely demolishes never-ending amounts of food.
Do you like watching that?
I do, actually.
I find it grotesque. Like, out of all the things, I've hosted many various things. The eating competition was the one that I had the biggest problem with.
And again, it was speed. It was most in least amount of
size of
time.
his jaw.
Oh my God, that is an enormous jaw.
Oh, it goes out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Goes
He looks
out.
like, you know that famous guy from Guinness Book of World Records who put all the pool balls in his mouth?
No.
Yeah.
You know that thing?
You know that guy?
Yeah.
He's just got a huge jaw, man. He just eats everything. But anyway, I do enjoy watching him put the clock on and just be like, all right, let's go. Let's polish this off. And then he'll do it in like something stupid like 3 minutes. Just the biggest amount of food you've ever seen.
Is he competing with anybody or just with
He does
against
do.
time?
He does do. So he just travels around. Restaurants pay him to go and do their food challenges, and he'll like just demolish them. But he does do competitive competitions against other people, and he has won some of them.
Did you ever watch Man vs. Food? Remember watch that?
I used to watch it.
Yeah.
No.
But he was a guy who was like, he wasn't actually a competitive eater, but he used to do those challenges. Like he would go to different places that would do kind of like impressive fast food or whatever, and it would always end with a food challenge. And after 3 seasons of it, apparently it was kind of the Morgan Spurlock thing. He got so out of shape and unfit. He was like, I can't do this anymore.
He was a fat prick. Yeah, I do remember that.
So he lost a whole bunch of weight, and then he was the host of it, but it was called Man vs. Food World or something. And he would like train someone to do the challenge for him. And he got like death threats for like tapping out of the food challenges.
I mean, I think that's because obviously representing man, he's lost. So other men are like, I can't believe you let food win, you soft cunt.
He got a lot of positive DMs from food though.
You know what they should have called the next series? Men versus food.
But why are they threatening him? Because he pulled out.
Oh,
because he was training people on the secrets.
You're too good. You're too good to be doing the food challenges, are you now?
Oh.
You're not one of us.
Death threats for that.
I believe so.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, maybe it was just me.
I personally was upset.
It was his doctor.
It's just like, who's the guy who's like, he's like the Michael Jordan of eating? Is it Joey Chestnut? Is that the name?
Oh, no. I always think of the Kobayashi was the Japanese guy. He was the hot dog eating champion.
But I thought
I watched a great video of him versing a bear.
I watched that video too.
Have you seen that one?
I mean, everyone's seen it.
Okay.
Like, what am I? What am I, an idiot?
Have we talked about it? Because that
Japanese guy versus bear. I'm like, I'm in.
My favorite-
Eating hot dogs.
my
Still
favorite-
in.
My favorite bit of the
Japanese
commentary.
guy versus bear. Yes, eating hot dog. Still okay.
Yeah. Dude, I love Tekken. Let's do it.
My favorite bit of the commentary on that video of the Japanese of Kobayashi versus the bear was the commentator going, I must admit, I did see for a moment what I thought to be fear in the bear's eyes.
Just a bit of biased commentary there.
Oh, it's so good.
So that was from a show called Man vs. Beast, I think. Well, Man vs. Wild was that. What's his name? Bear Grylls.
That
And
is Man vs. Wild.
So I think it was like Man versus Beast or something. And it was competitions between humans and animals. I remember this being like, there were 2 I remember. Number 1 was who can run a 400-meter relay race faster, a camel or 4 midgets? And the other one was who could carry a 747 Boeing jet 50 meters faster, an elephant or 40 midgets?
Oh, okay. So hold on. With the camel one, I reckon the camel would have won.
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
Pretty convincingly. But you did see some fear in the camel's eyes.
Was there a 5th midget in the hump?
No, it was, just be clear, it wasn't 4 midgets in a camel costume. It was
okay.
It was a relay.
That's deceptive.
Yeah.
So, like, why was it midgets? Was that like the whole premise of the show?
No, it was just a significant part of it.
Why did they?
I don't know. I don't know why it couldn't have just been 40 people versus the elephant.
But I'm surprised I
Surely
haven't heard
work your
about
way down to midgets.
Also, I did that thing that I know, like I kind of implied that midgets aren't people.
You kind of did do that.
Yeah.
That's a little bit rude.
But I brought it up, so I think that's better.
I'm surprised I haven't heard about this show. Midgets,
Given
in
your
some kind
predilection.
Of, yeah, them in some kind of competitive format sounds fantastic.
Yeah, when they're not the ball.
Like, wait, was it? We were having this conversation at the Running Joke about, we're talking like what was it? Dwarves and orcs. What was that thing? Sorry, because I just thought like, why like 40 midgets? I'm like, in my head, I'm like, dwarves would have a better chance. And I'm like, is there a difference? And I'm like, I'm not asking that
I was
question
going
out
about
loud.
goblins and orcs.
Goblins and orcs. Sorry, I apologize.
That's
we
all right.
really got deep on this. Are you like a lot of the?
No.
I think we kind of pictured that you might be, or might like either you're heaps into it or not at all.
Not at all.
I can't imagine you being like a casual Lord of the Rings
Well,
fan.
I mean, I don't know whether this because I've seen them all, but I haven't seen any of the Hobbit ones. But it just didn't do much for me. And every time I saw the next one, I'd be like, "What happened again?" Because there was always like 2 or 3 years between Twin Towers.
Not a real fan.
No,
I thought I thought they did that really well. I remember that it was like Christmas for 3 years in a row. I thought that was the release date. It was like a full year, but it was like kind of like the Christmas film.
I don't think so, but maybe.
Am I wrong on
It
that?
does sound about right, but was it every year or every second year?
I think it was every year.
Okay. All right.
Look,
Peter
I don't wanna-
Jackson, he knew what he was doing.
I
Someone.
thought you were going to tell him to write in.
Yeah, I thought you were doing that as well. And I was like, yeah, I mean, he's not busy now.
PJ,
Yeah, he's finished the Beatles documentary.
PJ, right in.
Old PJ, get in touch, brother.
I just rewatched the Lord of the Rings movies for a joke that I was working on, and Peter Jackson shows up in the first 20 minutes of the movie.
Very quickly, you're right. 2001, 2002, 2003.
There you go.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
I thought
did
they
you
filmed
say
it all, then edited it all.
You watched the Lord of the Rings trilogy for a joke?
Yes.
That's so.
It's
That's like,
condensed 9 hours of cinema down into 2 minutes of comedy.
Because Dan was mentioning I was looking for goblin dialogue in those movies. And I tried looking it up, but I couldn't find like a supercut of all of it on the internet. So I had to go manual. And
Did you almost say Manalogue?
I had to go Manalogue. I had to go Manalogue.
Manalogue describes all of our fathers.
Digital and Manalogue.
I got Manalogue ad, so I had to watch all the episodes, all of it.
All the episodes of Lord of the Rings. Oh,
And Peter
PJ's
Jackson,
upset now.
PJ does a cameo in the first 20 minutes.
What does
the
he
first
do?
one.
He's just like a guy at the Prancing Pony. Is that what they're called? The inn?
Oh, the bar,
The
yeah.
Hamilton bar. Yeah, he's out in the street somewhere.
Do you remember the thing about Brett McKenzie from Flight of the Conchords in Lord of the Rings?
Is he in it?
He's in it. He's in that whatever they do that first. What's the scene called where they all kind of agree, they form a fellowship, I guess, and they decide
The
that,
Fellowship of the Ring. And
Of course, your
Elrond.
favorite part of the movies is the
sorry.
meeting.
the meetings are great. So Brett McKenzie, before Flight of the Conchords had taken off, was in the background of that scene, no speaking role. And fans got obsessed with him for some reason, and they used to call him Figwit, which stood for Frodo is great. Who is that?
Frodo is great. Who is that?
And they started a petition to get him a recurring role in the movies, and he got one.
Oh, that's
There we
cool.
go.
Yeah.
But I thought they filmed everything and then edited. So how'd they put it in?
Peter Jackson's a master of CGI, I
Ah.
imagine.
Dude, CGI the Concords. I like it. So yeah, Goblin. Why did you need Goblin dialogue again? I don't remember this. I just remember that we couldn't get to the bottom of what's an orc and what's a Urukai and what's a goblin. Like we were trapped.
Are there goblins in Lord of the Rings?
Well, this
is where this whole so I did this joke where I talked about goblin dialogue, and then a guy yelled out. I did this joke at Sweeney's the other night, and this guy yelled out, "Fresh meat, but meat's back on the menu, boys." And I was like, "Well, you've embarrassed yourself. That's orc dialogue." And he's like, "It's all orc dialogue." And so I was like, "Hold on, no," because I thought the guys running around were orcs with goblins. I thought that they were different species. It turns out we were both wrong and right at the same time because according to Tolkien, in his version of what orcs are, them and goblins are the same species.
All right.
They're interchangeable.
but there's the Urukai, which are the kind of bigger ones.
That's right. It's a hybrid.
He's created a spectrum of orc.
Yes.
So what? They're like different races. Like the Urukai would be on a flute
Tom,
scholarship.
don't bring race into this.
Did you hear my flute scholarship?
Dan, you stabbed at my flute scholarship joke. Come on. I apologize. It was a good joke.
Thank you.
I was just it's just funny. We're talking about different types of orc. And you're but which race is superior? let's just get on top of this early.
So you've drawn that swastika back on your neck.
The white hand of Saruman, you say?
I think there are a few too many types of orc, and we need a final solution.
So
Get off the grey. I like get off the white. Anyway,
I prefer the white Gandalf. Don't know about this grey fella. Could go either way for me.
anyway,
You tell me there are these elves that are all kind of white and they got ships and they just kind of go off to live peacefully. I like that.
I'm going to keep mentioning on stage that the goblins are different to the orcs because if anyone yells out to correct me, that they out themselves as a massive nerd.
But
And
why
that's fun as well.
Oh, okay. So that's why you going as opposed to just being simpler and saying orc, which everyone agrees is correct.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, but he just wants to on a nerd hunt, I guess.
Nerd hunt.
Got him, boys.
Going on a nerd hunt. We're going to catch an autistic one. I'm not scared. He probably is. This is a social interaction. What's my best work?
Oh, God. It's easy to take big swings when you edit the podcast, isn't it?
You better believe it. Hey, boys, let's be clear. I've saved you both.
Sick song, dude.
Shit. Fucking weirdo.
I thought Bear Hunt was fun.
I had an audience interaction thing the other day. I was doing a joke about like how eating ass is very popular all of a sudden. And as I'm talking about it, this girl in the middle of the show, like 20 people in the show, just like puts her hand straight up, just like doesn't say it, just hand in the air. And I just go, just to be clear, I will not be taking questions.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, like someone is on after me, I'm standing around in the break and she goes, I was like, the reason I put my hand up is on the weekend, I ate ass for the first time. And she was so happy with this. I was like, oh, how was it? She's like, it was great. I had a great time.
And that is why you should field questions, because that would have been fantastic.
That would have been way better than not fielding questions.
Yeah, everyone missed out on hearing about her eating ass.
Except for you. You got to.
Yeah,
and the floggers, they got to hear about
That's
it.
true. They should have listened to Flog.
Did she appear like an ass eater?
Oh, yeah, facial piercings. I reckon that gives it away. Don't you think?
That's it for you?
Yeah.
When I did the running joke with you the other night, there was a hot chick that said that she'd had cocaine blown up her ass before. That was fun.
Just bringing that up? Where's the story going, Hammer? Nowhere, brother.
She didn't even put her hand up. I think she laughed loudly, and then people realised that she was in on what a blow dart was. So, I think lean into it. Find out. Try and talk to the arse eaters out there.
Do you remember in Newcastle where you had to take the photo where you were miming blowing cocaine up a fan's ass?
How could I forget?
Hey, no, he really did it.
Well,
The old magic of cinema.
we'll be doing that again when the Flog Cabin returns to Newcastle. When are we going?
June
something.
29th, 4 p.m. All right, I got a question for you. We should do a part of that soon. Got a question for you.
Wait, why are you whistling?
Yeah.
Am I doing? I got a question for you. That was
you
cleaner.
remember, the pedophile and Family Guy? That's who you're sounding like.
Well, that's upsetting. Because I'm a pedophile in 3D.
All right.
Pretty good save there.
Yeah.
We're going on a child hunt.
Sing us another song.
Why do you think I know the Bear Hunt song? No, all right. Might have to leave that bit in there, which is upsetting. You post your losses, folks.
Yeah. That's what you do, something that's really like now when people listen to the podcast and you do something really embarrassing and you leave it and they're like, well, this is going to pay off later, I suppose.
Yeah, we're seeding it.
This is a setup.
We're seeding this bomb for a win later. But I was just thinking with the arse eating and the blow dart, I'm gonna give you Flogs a choice. Would you prefer to have your ass eaten or the blow dart or both? And if so, both, in what order?
Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. What are the questions? What are my options?
And who by?
That's a good question. But hold on. I have the option between a blow dart
Or
someone eating my ass or both.
Yeah.
Yeah, good question. Who's doing it?
Dealer's choice.
stripper to Bucks party.
All right. Yeah. Anonymous stripper, full size.
And is this, sorry, are we single in this scenario?
Oh God, there's always some lame-o. Just imagine.
Imagine what?
So imagine you're single. Do it. Stretch the powers of disbelief. No, it's like there's no consequences. There's nothing. It doesn't affect your real life at all. This is a hypothetical scenario.
I think pure blow dart for me.
Pure blow dart.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had my ass eaten. So could I do this privately, or is this in the middle of the Bucks party?
It's not in the middle of the Bugs party. You go to a separate room, but
Okay.
people know that you've gone off with her.
To get my ass eaten?
I think she announces, I'm
I'm
going to eat Hamo's ass. I'm going to go to town on Hamo's big ass right now.
We're doing a human rimipede, everybody.
Who wants to rim me?
Maybe blow dart first, and then if I'm having a good time, maybe we could put some Coke on the tongue and eat my ass with that. There we go.
I love that you've turned it into a cocktail.
Let's double down. Let's see where this goes.
See, I thought the other way would be the more logical because, like, you get your ass eaten, that feels good and it's pleasurable. Plus, your ass is now really clean for the cocaine, and plus, it'd be a little bit wetter than usual, so it'd stick.
Well, they probably want you to have your ass clean before the eating.
That's just not the way I have my ass eaten. You ever use the coffee mug for like 3 days in a row? That's how I want my ass to be.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, just out of respect, I would clean the butthole for either, just for the bloat. I mean, that's what I did last time. I gave it a rinse, but
Rinse.
I was asked, and I was like, "Yeah, that's very fair." But
That does seem reasonable.
Yeah, it does seem reasonable.
But like, would you?
But also, it's like, what are you going to reuse the straw? What's
What do you mean?
Well, like there's a gap. There's like a good 15 centimeters between face and ass.
That's true. Or are you wondering why they worry about the cleanliness?
Yeah.
I think you've got a lot of faith in the straw, bro. I'd be cutting it. You like got the little bendy bit still in there, just to really access the ass.
I want it to be like a crazy straw.
I think girls understand. Most guys are gross, So I think just even if you were clean, they still want you. Hey, just give it a quick wash.
Yeah.
What about the?
I also it's like most guys are gross, not most assholes are gross, which I think is probably also true.
Yeah, I think I would be more comfortable giving a female a blow dart unwashed than a bloke.
Yeah.
A unwashed lady rather than a washed bloke.
Yep.
I agree with that. But I gotta like the syllogism though. It's just kind of like men are assholes are gross, therefore men are gross.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Bit of fun.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Checks out. But
here we go. Thanks for writing it with that question.
Hamo again misusing what the camera is.
Man, this camera's paying attention, so attentive. Wants to know what we're talking about. It's got follow-up questions. Hamo thinks when someone gets interviewed on TV, it's the camera. So what are you wearing tonight? All right, we should do the fucking ad read. We're deep in.
I've got one for Tom.
One for Tom. That's nice. Thought I had something more about the ass eating. I don't know. I think the one thing with getting my asshole eaten, I'd be very self-conscious because of the hair.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I would also insist on a reusable straw. I love the turtles.
The metal would be cold.
Yeah, but it'd heat up pretty quick.
All right, we got an ad for Pilot this week. Do
your thing what we say about Pilot? What do we
This
say
podcast, the Flog Cabin podcast, is brought to you by Pilot Men's Health. Every week, we write an ad for each other, and then someone will read it out. This week, Hamo's written an ad for Tom.
I'm looking at Hamo's phone right now. I've just got a notification from Instagram. Someone just posted to your stories, "Hey, homo."
Hey, this is the cabin. No homo. Let's make that very clear.
I feel like looking at Hamo's phone is kind of like looking into the past a little bit. It's kind of like the mid to late 2000s.
Why? It's a new phone.
Yeah, I know, but like the contents.
Like what's going on? I feel like it's looking at my phone's internal monologue.
Jesus Christ. G'day, floggers. It's Tom Witcombe here. I am a cuckold. Let's not fuck around. Let's get to it.
So that lines up with the Chaucer. Good stuff.
I invite strange men into my home to have sex with my wife. A lot of people think this is some sort of depraved kink that I have. And it is. But I'm also a man of practicality. Recently, I've been having trouble getting hard. And when I wasn't even able to get my meat stick to wake up when 2 members of Manpower Australia were ploughing my wife, that's when I knew something was wrong with the old Whitcombe Willie. But thanks to Pilot, I'm back to being rock hard on the spectator couch at home. Sometimes my wife even lets me participate. She says I'm bringing the bang bang back to interracial gangbang.
The bang bang back to interracial gangbang. There we go.
He was laughing too hard to deliver it, but what a line.
Go to pilot.com.au and use the code FLOGGERS20 for $20 off your first order. Pilot, hard made easy.
Great stuff.
And then it says, cut out gluten.
Oh. That's one of my personal notes.
You got to run Burgundy. Read everything.
Is this just one long note?
Yep.
Why don't you have several notes?
This is just my stream of consciousness.
Okay. Spaniards, kebabs, rental. All right. Good stuff.
Yeah, I'm like that. I got one big note.
Really?
Yeah. Well, for like bit ideas and stuff, other things, like I think one of the most genius things I have on my phone is an app with just all the numbers that I need, like as in like tax file number, ABN, like frequent flyer, bank, like just all numbers that I might need to copy paste into a form. Got them all in one note.
I heard about this thing recently. I hadn't heard of it before, but it's like a plugin you can get for your laptop and where it allows you to have like lots of different things copied, ready to paste at once. So as opposed to just having the last thing you copied, you can have like 100. So you always have your ABN, and it's like got a shortcut for, instead of Control V, it's like Control whatever.
You get to choose.
Yeah.
Interesting. I don't know. I never trust any of this. I remember, what were we talking about? Like the thumb to open like a laptop, and I was like, I don't do any of that shit.
Why not? It's so good.
I just...
Well, what do you use for your phone? Face ID?
No, I don't use that either.
Really?
Yeah, I never had a PIN code on my phone until I had to for merch sales. You had to get like a PIN for merch. And now it's like 6-hour reset and the PIN's 696969.
There you go.
I mean, I don't care.
Evidently.
I didn't have any of that stuff when I was selling drugs, obviously, because I didn't want to be like arrested by the cops and I could just hold it from my face and get into the phone. But they got into the phone pretty easily anyway.
You telling me the police have a way to break into iPhones?
Well,
without showing your face to it?
It's not always easy. There can be quite a lot of work. They didn't get much off there, but they got enough to be damning in court, which is really all they needed.
Yeah, I'm going to drop off 20 kilos of fine cocaine to this house in 20 minutes. Cut out gluten.
We looked at your contact list, and unfortunately we couldn't find anyone with the last name Curly Hair in the address book.
Oh, do you have that thing? Maybe I think they're still in there because I just never changed my contacts. Where like when you'd meet someone on Tinder, you put their last name as Tinder. So you've just got like 10 like Lucy Tinder, like fucking whatever Tinder there, just forever.
And then it'd be like Katie, Hot One, Tinder. Katie.
How many Katies were you getting on Tinder?
Big Jugs, Tinder.
I like that Big Jugs doesn't qualify for Hot One.
Well, because you might already have that one in there.
Hot 2.
Well,
Hot also.
That's so confusing.
Too hot. Too hot, too Katie.
/ bracket small lords. For anyone that's turning toward customer. But
we think Hammer's been distributing cocaine to the Small Lords family.
Not much though, it seems.
And he's cutting out gluten.
The Small Lords family. So just picturing a whole family who never order the full amount.
The Small Lords crime family.
Just like, yeah, I'm getting Woolworths delivered. What should we get for milk? I don't know, 600 mil.
We've got Andrew, Small Lords, Asian chick, annoying Small Lords.
Just for anyone at home, Asian chick, Asian spelled AZN because it's 2001 for some reason. I'm going to post a got rice meme next.
Yeah, I met her on Counter-Strike.
someone was just called Small Lords. Then there was Small Lordsy.
That one to me looks like Small Lords.
Small Lords.
Small Lordsy Rando. Jeremy Smallsy, Odd. Hot JD, test mate, Small Lords. There we go.
I like that your drug deal contacts are like a family tree.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, they're connected to Tracy over here. Then this is made of John, you know?
I really hope some of them are listening right now and they didn't realize that they were Small Lords. Like, no, it's not. Remember that time? I bought 3 bags.
You were pathetic. Your business meant nothing to me.
There was a music festival coming up. I bought 4 cats. It was big odds, brother.
It was my birthday, so I only got 3, but you gave me the 4th.
Hammer, just sell me one more time. I want to be a big odds.
I didn't realize I had quite as many. I was like, let's just see how many I've got there. That's a lot of tight asses that I will never do business with again.
I think we should do that for comedy tickets. Anyone who buys a single.
Small Lords.
Hey, enjoy the show, Small Lords.
Couldn't find a fucking mate, could ya? Guess what? You can only see me on weeknights.
Here we go. Now
Weekends are for big odds only. I'm talking groups. At least 5 tickets. Only qualify for the big odds discount.
So on the day after Dan's birthday, you posted in the group chat that you were fuming about something that had been said to you by Dan's actor friend.
Oh, Zeke.
You said...
Oh, I mean, maybe I'd exaggerated when I'd had a few beers.
What, you?
Yeah.
On a couple of beers?
Yeah.
What?
No, he had been talking to me about the movie business and like when you look at scripts and whether or not you think they're going to be any good and stuff like that, and a lot of it can change depending on.
Man, sounds like you guys really got deep on that, huh?
We got deep, and we were talking a lot about how much the game changes when like someone is attached to the movie.
Sorry, just for anyone watching this on YouTube, just how much it's bothering Tom that
Your case doesn't fit.
his phone case
Why
doesn't
doesn't the case
It
fit?
just keeps
I've got a
pressing.
tablet behind there. I've got to have in like an hour.
Okay.
Small odds.
Small
only
ones,
one.
just the one. It's my birthday.
So we were talking about when someone becomes attached to the movie, like a big actor or director or producer.
Mm.
And I said, oh, like like a Joel Silver or something. It was my example of a movie producer.
Who's Joel Silver?
Well, then we're going to get to that. So then,
Fuck, sorry.
So then Zeke was like, yeah, or like a Jerry Bruckheimer. And so like instead of just like accepting my example,
He used a more well-known example that I understood immediately.
Yeah.
so that's my problem. So then then like one in the morning, I sent him a link to Joel Silver's cinematic credit.
This is psychotic.
That's the most passive aggressive fucking message to get.
I didn't even say any words. I just sent him the link to it.
Unaccompanied? Just the
Unaccompanied
link.
by anything. And he never replied. But
Shocker.
But so obviously Jerry Bruckheimer did some great stuff. Pirates of the Caribbean, Top Gun, anything that involved
Is he CSI as well?
might have been Nick Cage. A lot of Nick Cage movies like Con Air, The Rock. What else?
We got
Bruce,
5 minutes left of the pod. Just keep listening to movies, would you? Just
All
keep
right.
going through.
All I'm saying is Jerry Bruckheimer, great example, but it's not enough. I don't think it's significant enough to trump the one I'd already brought up. Right?
I don't know how this can be seen as a slight. And the thing that worries me is now if I go to prison, I've got to be very careful on how I agree with people.
Okay, so Joel Silver, we've got stuff like Commando, Lethal Weapon, Predator, Die Hard 2, Lethal Weapon 2.
Please stop yelling.
Okay, all
I
right.
know you're reading right now, and that's very hard for you to navigate.
Okay, so Joel went through a phase where he made a lot of movies that were very successful. So he went through Lethal Weapon 2, Die Hard 2, and Predator 2 in quick succession. Because he was like, well, we made a good one. Let's just run it back.
I like that you're like really describing sequels in a roundabout way.
Executive Decision.
You know, by
Kurt Russell.
still naming movies, you're doing exactly what Zeke did. Which
Well-
is just looking for more examples to back up your point.
I mean,
I'm just
he's also
saying-
doing exactly what I asked.
Executive Decision. That was I think quite an important film at the time because
Wait. Spoiler alert.
because this was
He's spoiling the credits of all these movies.
they came out what
I was
early.
about to say that he thinks it's good. Spoiler alert.
Well, it's not that good a movie, but they did do something which you didn't see a lot back in the 90s, which was they killed a like famous star in the first 10 minutes of the movie. Steven Seagal died.
So now we are doing spoilers.
Yeah, fuck. How did we get here?
Steven
we
Seagal-
reverse engineered a spoiler.
Steven Seagal falls out of the connecting bit between a passenger jet and a B-52 stealth plane and he falls to his death.
Mm.
And there wasn't that happening that much at that time. I mean, these days you've got like Game of Thrones season 1. They hired an A-list actor, Sean Bean, to get
He's seen Bean.
Sean Bean to play Ned Stark.
Please tell me this is a bit.
That's what we call him in my household.
Scene Ben.
Well, you can't call him Sean Bean. It's the same. It's like if you're going to call him, Sean Bean.
Scene Ben?
It's
I've
Sean
been
Bean.
listening to a lot of Sinead O'Connor.
So anyway, I'm just saying they forged a path which is now well trodden, but it was exciting at the time. You're like, holy shit, Steven Seagal's dead in the first 10 minutes. What's Kurt Russell going to do? But anyway, Joel Silver, thank you for your great work in cinema.
I'm sorry, you're not a good enough example conversationally.
There we go.
And Jerry Bruckheimer, go fuck yourself. Honestly.
Die Hard, Commando. My point is, I brought him an example of a producer. We're talking about all these guys, and he could have just gone, yeah, great example. But nah, I don't think he knew the cinematic achievements
Is
of
that
Joel.
what you want people to do when you give an example?
Fuck, dude. Great example, bro.
Hamo, honestly, that's one of the best examples.
That was a great example.
Honestly, your story about Zeke like being rude. One of the great examples of rudeness.
Such a great example of who Zeke is. So much so I don't think I need to hear anything more about Zeke.
Zeke, fuck you. You're a dog. You didn't reply to my weird text. At 1 a.m, there was just a link to Joel Silver.
Sending someone an IMDb link without any context is a great example of being a weird cunt. How about that, Hammer?
I'm going to send you tomorrow morning a YouTube video on how to pronounce Sean Bean.
Here we go. Look,
scene.
It was at 12:19 a.m. Joel Silver, Wikipedia.
Oh, the double tick is
double
read
blue
it.
tick. He's seen it. No reply.
You sent it at midnight? You were just lying awake in bed?
Well,
He wasn't lying awake in bed
steaming.
because remember the other thing he fucking messaged is like, oh, I highly recommend you guys watch this film. And then half an hour later he's like, yeah, holds up.
I was watching Thief. James Caan. That's a classic. Anyway,
who produced that? Joel Silver?
Who did that movie? I can't remember.
Do you like modern movies or do you only like movies?
I think that most movies made in the last 10 years suck.
What's the best recent movie you saw?
Ooh, fun question.
I think I just saw one recently.
Hey, just so you know.
Oh, no, it was the Terminator 2 at the Opera House.
I haven't gone to see that yet. I'm going next week.
Wait, fuck. The Vince Vaughn thing.
Oh, we didn't talk about the Vince
I haven't
Vaughn
talked
thing
about
at
that.
all.
We've got so many things to talk about. I saw Planet of the Apes, the new Planet of the Apes. It was all right.
Oh, yeah.
The movies, that was all right.
But you were at this business conference for Vince Vaughn.
Yeah, it was called The Power of Success.
How interesting is this? Because if it's 5 minutes, we are perfect. But if it's longer,
It's about 5 minutes worth of content.
fuck yeah, dude.
Perfect.
So, what was it called?
I want to hear about this conference and I only want one example.
The Power of Success.
The Power of Success.
Yeah.
And they gave out free tickets to it.
And so
Great
they
start.
had different tiers of
Dude, you
where
went to
you
a
could sit.
Scientology conference,
and
bro.
It was cultish, extremely cultish. This guy that runs it, JT Fox, seems like he's just some kind of
No relation.
charlatan. He kept on going about how he's worth high 9 figures.
What's that? So that's
That's hundreds of
100
millions.
He's almost a billionaire.
He's almost a billionaire. Is
Yeah,
what he's
right.
insinuating.
Yeah,
And
but high 9 figures sounds a lot better than almost a billionaire. Actually, I disagree. If you're like almost a billionaire, I'm like, man, that guy's fucking rich. High 9 figures. I'm like,
High 9 figures. I'm counting decimals.
He always liked to. He'd say something. He'd go on a tangent, and then he'd go like, "By the way, high 9 figures, like net worth, high 9 figures." By the way, and so it was insane. It was there was no clear. They didn't communicate what was on the agenda for the day because if everyone found out that Vince Vaughn doesn't get wheeled out till about 5:20, you probably
when
wouldn't
did it start?
7 a.m.
7. What?
Registration was at 7 a.m. The event started at 8 a.m. Me and Alex Milinkovic showed up at 10 and felt like we had missed absolutely nothing.
Wait, so registration's for an hour. Is that just what? Name tag? How you going?
Networking. Oh, and so we got there at 10 and this happened to me twice in the space of about 10 minutes when I first arrived. I had weird like cultish vibe cunts come up to me and they'd be like, hey, I haven't seen you since the US. Like they act like we'd done business together or been at a conference together. And then I was like, nah. And
Nah.
oh, what?
Wait,
No.
you didn't play along at all?
The first one, I because it was too early. I hadn't even had a coffee yet. I missed the first one. I got the second one.
Okay.
So then the second one, when I was walking in, this guy that was trying to find us some seats, he was like, "Hey, great to see you again. I saw your event in Perth. I saw you on the plane." I'm like, "Yes, how are you?" And then he was like, "So excited to have you here." And then but look at it, just look at me like, "What is going on?" And I was like, "I found us some seats," because the place was packed, like 1,000 people. It was hard to find a seat. And then it was a weird combination of like people that I think pay for his business coaching that he led on stage to like pitch their own businesses.
Sure.
And they were very bad at public speaking. And like, he was like, "Oh, so good to have a mix between global like billionaires and like local business advisors." And he's like, and we've got some great Australian speakers. And then this woman comes out and she was speaking in like a very heavy Eastern European accent, could hardly speak a word of English. And this was the Australian example, apparently. And then she talked about AI, weirdly, and about how people need to understand you've got to ask. I'm an expert at asking AI the right questions. And then it was like, all right,
I mean, she does speak their fucking language, doesn't she? heavy Eastern European accent. If robots could talk, yes, that is it.
He had a guy that was the CEO of Blockbuster come out to talk.
Whoa, Blockbuster?
Blockbuster video.
Man,
When
that would have been good 30 years ago.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? The CFO of Video Easy next?
So then
At
they
the end,
tried
he
to-
handed out a lot of copies of DVDs of Wedding Crashes.
Then they spent a lot of time defending how
Hey guys, this information is a new release.
spent a lot of time defending how they missed Netflix. Like you don't understand. At the time, they were just mailing out DVDs. So
That's so
anyway, it sounded
funny.
like a cop out from a loser.
That's so funny. Like, still being like, guys, anyone would have missed it.
Yeah, you saw it coming? Why didn't you tell us?
Yeah. Like, we knew that you wanted to come to the video store
Yeah.
and get it there.
So they had the old CEO of Blockbuster, talking about how, and then he worked at 7-Eleven. He was the CEO of 7-Eleven, talking about how you can buy his book. What else was there? There was this Russian woman, Setka, talking about AI.
You actually took notes.
I took so many notes because I was like, I'm going to create some parody stuff around some of this. There was some digital learning. Everyone was there to sell something. Oh, there was JT Fox, the guy hosting the whole event, at one point went on a rant about how there's so many of these tickets are free and people didn't show up. Like, they don't have commitment. These people were at Vivid last night. By the way, I own 10 museums that have lights just like that.
What a flex.
Is JT Fox as camply gay as you're making him out to be?
Yeah, he's got a weird kind of over-the-top American dude who doesn't drink, and I don't trust anyone that doesn't drink.
Of course not.
Yeah.
He owns 10 museums, though.
Yeah. Then he had a bit where he was ranting about how there's all these freeloaders that don't even show up for the show, and how it's insulting to Vince Vaughn, and he's like, by the way, it was Vince's idea to have tickets for free. I didn't want to do it. And then he was ranting about how the room cost $150,000 to hire, and he had to have 6 security guards even though he didn't need them, and all this kind of stuff to make it sound like he was losing money on the event, because that's part of the long con of, like, I make 9 figures.
You owe me.
Yeah, there's all these people that were going to pay tens of thousands of dollars for a one-on-one session with the guy, right?
This guy sounds remarkably like the crazy magician who used to own the venue where we did the running joke.
Maybe it's the
Just
same
like
guy.
just a lot of like scattered information, being like, I paid this much, this thing cost this much, but I've got this much. This person said I shouldn't. This person wanted to do this. I didn't want to do it. Anyway, listen to me. I'm important.
He had a long video about how many famous people he knows, and it was
Did he give more than one example?
so many examples.
That's so rude.
All right, I can see where this is going.
Yeah. So were there any takeaways? Did they ask you to sign up to anything? Have you gotten some follow-up emails? What is the con? I need to understand what the con is.
Yeah, what's the long
the
game?
con is either one-on-ones with him or his business coaching.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted people to go with him to Bali or Dubai for like a weekend retreat for coaching.
So
There's
that's
some
the
woman-
next step.
That's the next step.
Next step of the funnel.
Yeah.
Tom, you should write this down for when you're trying to radicalize people.
He had all these videos of him hanging out with famous people and how it like connected him to the next famous person. Then he was like, check out this one. And it's like him backstage, and it's like him and Andrea Bocelli from the Three Tenors. And like, I don't think anyone knows that reference anymore.
Is Andrea Bocelli from the Three Tenors?
I thought it was on his own.
Or was he like the Justin Timberlake of the Three Tenors?
I thought it was, maybe you're right. Maybe he's not part of it. I'm thinking of someone else.
Pavarotti?
Pavarotti and the
other guy?
Yeah.
And the other guy.
Domingo, was that one?
Oh, could have
Cosito
been.
Domingo? I don't know. Anyway, Andrea Bocelli.
Okay. So what did Vince Vaughn do? Did Vince Vaughn come out?
Vince Vaughn came out at the very end, and there was a bit where he was like, Vince Vaughn has just finished a movie with Al Pacino. He hasn't seen his family in 6 weeks. He's come straight here to talk business. And all I did was just sit down and just ask him a few questions about acting. And then they had people from this guy's business school came on stage to ask to ask Vince Vaughn weird questions. Like, I work in environment. I care for the environment. What do you think about the environment? And he was like, I agree. We should care about it. What do you think? It's like, I also agree. Thank you very much for your time. And then the next person would come out. And I was like, what is going on?
Does it feel like Vince Vaughn is in sizable debt to this man?
I think he's obviously taking him out to party. It's the old Epstein thing. He's got some photos. Vince Vaughn has done something.
Just
Like, blink twice, Vince, if you need help.
every now and again, just obviously that's not true. There aren't incriminating Epstein-style photos
I'm
of
just
Vince
saying
Vaughn.
it would explain a lot more than like it seemed like, why is Vince here?
Because he got paid a lot of money, surely. Surely. Come on.
The guy's got
Or-
9 figures. He's got money to spend.
But like, surely it's either that or like he's kind of part of this scam.
This guy, his whole strategy is like star power. Like that's how he gets people to turn up to events. It's not.
I mean,
because
that's
of
why you
him.
went, because you're like, I'm going to this business event because Vince Vaughn's going to be there.
That's
So it
exactly right.
absolutely works.
But he also here's quite a insulting piece of advice that he gave out for anyone that runs a podcast. He said the best way to sell things is to just start a podcast. No one even has to listen. You start a podcast and you invite business people onto your podcast as guests, and then you can be able to sell them whatever you're selling. And I was like, well, this is the reason why so many podcasts have popped up.
You think that's the reason? You reckon this guy?
I think. Well, when do
You
we have
understand, Tom,
by the way-
Mr. Fox is very persuasive.
By the way, we do have the CEO of Pilot coming in soon, don't we? To talk about.
We could if you want.
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah, then we do one of the ads. He's like, wait, this is what we fucking pay you guys for?
Yeah, we want to keep the CEO of Pilot as far away from this as possible.
Wait,
So-
is every ad about people ramming this guy's wife?
in an interracial bang bang gang bang.
It's like calling his people. It's just like, man, we did not think about the cuck market. We're going to start advertising on those videos on Pornhub.
The cuck market.
Pilot, hard made plenty.
So was it worthless? I think. Oh, there was a bit where he had 2 people from the crowd come out if they wanted help with their business. One ran a beauty salon, makeup artistry, and also hair.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other guy, poor guy, had come over from the UK to run an identity workshop academy where he teaches people about
That is
developing
the
their
funniest job for a British person to come here to do.
Yeah.
Easily.
And he
like,
just-
without question. That is fucking hilarious.
And this guy,
This is who you really are.
JT Fox has essentially ripped on both of them so badly. He was like, this is the shittest idea I've ever heard. You've flown from the UK. You've done no research into this place. You've called it an academy. No one wants to learn anymore. What a fucking dumb idea. Anyone else want to have a go at the microphone? It
Wait.
was so funny.
Were they real or do you reckon they were plants?
They were absolutely real, and they looked crushed. And then he asked people if everyone agreed that he'd done a good job, and he said, "Did anyone think I did a bad job with that?" And one woman was like, "Yeah," and he was like, "Okay." And so then he essentially asked this woman what I did wrong, and he's like, "Well, you just shut on their ideas and gave no tangible advice about how to make it better." And he's like, "Well, do you own a business?" And she's like, "No." And he goes, "Well, then shut up. You don't know. You don't know anything about business and high 9 figures, all this kind of stuff."
I mean, in fairness, this guy sounds awesome. I'm a huge fan of this.
He just absolutely just destroyed this poor bloke.
man.
So it was very entertaining. Me and Milinkovic just sitting up the back, being like, "Man, this is fucking." This is good gear. This is going to go
This is
great.
Alec Milinkovic from your business podcast.
Yes.
I love the idea of just dismissing anyone who disagrees with you who doesn't own a business.
Yeah, I'm actually here to figure out how to start my own business. So shut up. You don't know anything.
Like you wouldn't understand what it's like to grow a business. And so
So we're investigating you for fraud. Sorry, do you own a business?
Wait, did I say high 9 figures? I meant low 6 figures.
one of the funniest part of the day was he had his defamation lawyer come out to speak about how to deal with people that are criticizing you. And then I looked it up. I was like, this guy actually has a lot of legal issues, JT Fox. You can see why he would think this guy is amazing. But to bring him out, and he started bringing up this example, like something I dealt with recently, but like without going into the details. But it's like, what? It sounded like, JT, what did you do? What happened to this poor woman?
Can I interject to propose we don't hang shit on this guy's defamation lawyer, perhaps? We know how he feels about podcasts.
JT, we're happy to have you anytime, and I do own a business. So don't worry, I know heaps about it.
High
man.
4 figures.
Middle 3 figures. All right. Look, that's it. We got to get out of here.
We gotta go.
move.
We had a good time. We learned some stuff.
The weekend cabin. It was nice. It
The
felt
weekend
like a
was
weekend cabin.
Yeah. It felt loose.
Less
in a good
pressure.
way.
Yeah.
But yeah, keep flogging the cabin. Thank you so much for the people who've already bought tickets. Apparently, tickets are already moving to Newcastle and Sydney live pods. The details are in the episode description. They're in the link tree. Newcastle, June 29th, 4 p.m. Sydney, July 20th, 4 p.m. Bang. Live flog cabin. The flogs are out of the cabin. How do you feel about that? I was pretty happy when I came up with it.
Cabin's on the move?
Flogs are out of the cabin?
Yeah,
No?
the cabin's where the flogs are.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll just go fuck myself then.
Please do.
All right. Stay flogged up.
Check the dodgems.
Bye.